Will the U.S., EU, and NATO come away from these meetings with a closer understanding? Earlier, I spoke to Scott Bates. He's a senior fellow at the Pell Center for International Relations, and I asked him for his reaction to President Trump's speech at NATO.
Well, you know, it's more of the same, which is that the president does not seem to recognize that the NATO alliance is the foundation of Western security and American security. For almost 70 years now, the principle of collective defense, which is Article 5, an attack against one is an attack against all, that has been sacrosanct. That's the foundation of the alliance, and he's playing games with that. His Secretary of State today said, of course we believe in that. And of course, the president will say that. He hasn't said it yet. So that should be of great concern to anyone really truly focused on furthering American security interests.
Right. And during the speech, you know, he brought up the fact that he didn't want to ask about the cost of the new headquarters of NATO. He didn't mention Article 5, as you mentioned. A lot of uncomfortable looks from the leaders standing around listening to this. And it's not a complete surprise, but how are they supposed to deal with him, work with him, react to this?
Well, I think what they have to do is work on their relationships with American partners below the president's level. So, you know, they're going to discount what he says quite often as political theater and hope that they work directly intelligence agency to intelligence agency, Defense Department to Defense Department, and maintain the ties that bind and have for the past 68 years. So I really think that at a certain point, there's a lot of eye rolling going on and hoping to work with responsible parties on the other end and with the United States Congress. This is a real opportunity for the Congress to reassert itself into foreign policy in a way that it hasn't in the last many decades.
What is NATO hoping to accomplish with Trump? They've had to make some changes, cater to Trump's schedule, made this summit a little bit shorter, put some of the key things that he wants to talk about on the agenda, like immigration and international defense. What would it take to make this summit a success?
You know, I think if the president does reaffirm Article 5, which is an attack against one is an attack against all, that would indicate he has a fundamental understanding of what the alliance is really about. It's not a protection racket. We don't charge people to protect them. He has to understand this is an alliance based on values. And if he comes away with that understanding, then that'll be a good day for American national security.
All right, Scott Bates, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us from Connecticut.